Did you know that gaslighting was Merriam-Webster's 2022 word of the year? I'm going to read the definition of gaslighting from Merriam-Webster's website. To psychologically manipulate a person, usually over an extended period of time, so that the victim questions the validity of their own thoughts, perceptions of reality, or memories, and experiences confusion, loss of confidence and self-esteem, and doubt concerning their own emotional or mental stability. Gaslighting has become such an important topic that it actually made it into Merriam-Webster's Word of the Year for 2022. And that just goes to show that many people are experiencing gaslighting. It's finally coming to awareness outside of the, self-help lexicon for psychology. Now other people are recognizing it. And I think it's great that we now have words and concepts around what many people have been experiencing for a long time, but didn't know what it was. My name is Dr. Felucia. I'm a licensed psychologist and owner of Skill Set Counseling, where I focus on OCD, spiritual abuse, and cultural abuse. Today, I'm going to be talking about gaslighting, specifically how we recover from gaslighting. I see comments on my YouTube channel and also in my professional interactions with people asking the same question. You know, I've gone through gaslighting and I want to know how to recover from it. And as you can see from that definition that I read from Merriam-Webster's website, people experience really devastating losses from going through gaslighting. It affects confidence, it affects self-esteem. People begin to doubt, or not even begin to, they have serious doubts about their own mental and psychological capabilities. And so this isn't something that you just recover from overnight. Okay, recovering from gaslighting is a process. And in today's video, I'm going to be covering a few ways in which you can achieve this recovery, things that you can do to help you along that process. What I would recommend is that you watch the videos that I have in my gaslighting playlist. I have a playlist. If you look there's a section of the YouTube. I don't know what it is, but anyway, if you go in YouTube and you go on my channel, you will see a section that has gaslighting videos. And I encourage you to watch those just so that you get a primary understanding of what gaslighting is. Okay. But to reiterate, gaslighting occurs when somebody attempts to hijack and control your perception of reality. Okay. And so when this occurs, and by making you feel like you're incapable of accurately perceiving your inner and outer world, you become fragmented, you start to lose your inner sense of self, and you are more susceptible to being dependent on that gaslighter, because they're basically saying, look, you don't know what you're doing, you can't perceive your environment correctly, I'm the only person that can do it. So gaslighting is a form of manipulative control. Okay. And some people call it crazy making. And that's a pretty good colloquial description of it, because when people have gone through this, they doubt themselves. They say, am I losing my mind? Am I capable of being able to see things correctly? And it can be a very isolating, terrifying, and just erosive experience to someone's well-being. And so, you know, I'm going to address in this video how we recover from gaslighting. Specifically, there's a video I have called the Jade Method in dealing with gaslighting. And that talks about how to deal with gaslighting in the moment. So I would encourage you to watch that video and see what you can do in the moment when you're dealing with gaslighting. I'm going to be talking about steps here that you can do to achieve long-term recovery from gaslighting. Okay. So the first thing that I would recommend is journaling. I want you to keep a document that documents each time the gaslighter has attempted to gaslight you. Okay. So for instance, you might have brought up a situation that was concerning to you, and the gaslighting response was anger, blowing up at you, telling you that you're too sensitive and too critical, and all you ever do is fault find. And one thing I want you to remember about gaslighting is that it always avoids the root of the issue. It always takes accountability off the person that is gaslighting. It's kind of like a red herring or a smokescreen. So when that person is doing that gaslighting to you, your eyes and your attention are taken off the problem at hand. Now, instead of the concerning issue that you've brought up, now you're made to feel like you're a bad person for bringing it up. You are, you're all sorts of things according to the gaslighter. And so that is what gaslighting does. And by you journaling, you are helping reorient yourself to what the problem at hand is that needs to be addressed. Okay, so the first thing I would recommend is journaling, and specifically the gaslighter's attempts to gaslight you, what the real issue is and what they did in response. And before I continue, I would like you to like the video, subscribe, and share if you find this information helpful. What this does is that it helps YouTube send this information out and recommend videos like this to other people who could find them beneficial. So if you take a moment to do that right now, I'd really appreciate it. The next action that I would recommend to take when you've experienced gaslighting, you want to recover from it, is increase your bodily and emotional awareness. Okay, I have a video about this specifically called emotional numbness and gaslighting. And that helps you understand how we become emotionally numb after we've been through gaslighting. In order to recover from that, you need to start building your awareness of your emotions and bodily awareness. Sometimes when I've worked with clients and I've asked them to describe emotions that they're feeling, they have a really difficult time doing it. And I think this is because when people have experienced gaslighting, they are taught to feel that their own perceptions of their emotions are not important, they're not relevant, and they're inaccurate. So if that's you, if you feel like this is the case for you, I want you to start describing bodily sensations that you might have, right? And just go throughout the day and be aware of this. Think about something that might have happened, something that you saw, and how you felt in your body. Did you feel tightness in your chest, butterflies in your stomach, feelings of heat, feelings of cold, shakiness in your hands, heart palpitations? Whatever it is, I want you to start focusing in on that and journaling about that, as well as emotions that you have in certain situations and circumstances. What this does is it helps increase your confidence in your ability to perceive your inner and outer world. And when you do this and you journal about it, the skill gets stronger. Now, what I'm not saying is to take an emotion and say, because I'm feeling this emotion, I have to do this, right? Emotions and bodily sensations are a data point that helps you with other information, put everything together to make a decision. So I'm not saying, have you had this emotion, or if you have this bodily experience, it means that you are this, or you're in danger, or you're fine, or whatever. This is simply a data collection exercise. Many times after people have been through gaslighting, they just feel so numb. They feel disconnected from their emotions. They feel disconnected from their bodies. And what these exercises will help you do is help you regain those connections. And over time, slowly and surely, they should start to rebuild. You can talk about, you can journal about how you felt in a conflict with somebody, right? And what you felt emotionally, what you felt physically. And that will help you understand how you react in certain situations. And sometimes what makes it more difficult for you to speak up and address the issue. So again, this is a data collection exercise. And then the third thing I want you to do is to start to build your confidence. And that's by making small decisions on your own. A lot of times when people have been through gaslighting, they say that even the smallest decisions can be so difficult for them. They feel like they're going to ruin everything. They feel like they're incapable of thinking for themselves. And so you can tell yourself all day, I can do it, I can be capable. But when you start making small decisions, that teaches you that A, yes, you can make decisions by yourself. And B, even if the decision doesn't go the way you expected, you are still making progress in the right direction. Sometimes when people have experienced gaslighting, they have this idea that if they make the wrong decision, if they make the wrong decision, rather, if they don't get input from whoever is gaslighting them, they're going to make a devastating mistake that will ruin their lives and everyone else's lives forever. right? And I want you to remember that, look, you can always course correct. You can always choose to make a different decision later if you feel like the decision you made first didn't work out for you. And so this helps you take the gravity and the emotional burden off making decisions. So start by identifying what small decisions you can make each day. Focus on decisions too that help you stand your ground against gaslighting, right? So maybe if you are dealing with somebody who is gaslighting you now, or maybe you have in the past, you can think about what they would say you shouldn't do, right? Or you should do. And I want you to start taking small steps to say, well, I'm going to do something different, right? Even though the gaslighter told me that I was too sensitive or I was too critical, I'm still going to make the decision to bring this up and rock the boat a little bit, right? And so by you doing this, you're going to gain more and more confidence, right? And as you do this, it becomes easier and easier. Remember, all these steps that I talked about are things that occur over time. So I'm going to go over those 3 steps again. Okay, the first one, journaling. Journaling increases your bodily awareness and your emotional awareness. So just journal about things you're feeling in your body and also the emotions that you're experiencing. And I know that journaling sometimes takes time, so you can just jot notes in your phone, or you can just be aware of it, aware of their bodily sensations and your emotional sensations, and look at them as data points. The second one is journaling, right? And so I talked about, I think I probably got this in the wrong order, but that's okay. I talked about the first one, and that is journaling, right? So you want to do, the first thing you want to do is journal about gaslighting incidences, and talk about in your journal, or just write about how the gaslighting was taking the attention off the real issue. The second one is increasing your bodily and emotional awareness. And that can happen through journaling, but it can just happen through being in touch with your thoughts and feelings throughout the day and using them as data points. And then the third one is making small decisions, especially decisions that go against what gaslighting has told you, right? And you want to remember that when you make these decisions, it's not the end of the world. Even if it turns out, quote unquote, wrong, you can still course correct, right? Nothing is the end of the world. So if you'd like more help in your recovery from gaslighting, you can book a consultation on my website. It's free. Go to skillsetcounseling.com and click on the orange button. Or you can click the link in the description box that will take you to my website where you can do the same thing. And again, if you're finding this information helpful, please take a moment to like and subscribe and share the video. Okay? So I hope you have a wonderful day filled with peace and joy. Bye-bye.